With a new year comes all the new Dollar Tree finds. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 25 items from the Dollar Tree that you can use to elevate the look of your space, but on a really tight budget. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. One of the most expensive areas when you're shopping at high-end stores is wall decor. And even going the Target route, you're going to likely spend at least $10 to $15. And Dollar Tree has really done a great job of improving this area in their small scale wall decor. One of the new pieces through Magnolia was this really beautiful rail picture frame that I hadn't seen before yet. So I figured we could try to dupe something similar using some Dollar Tree material. So I found this picture for $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. You could just choose to use this frame, but I thrifted a frame for 50 cents that I liked more, so I'm going to use that one instead. So I'm just going to remove the photo from this frame here, and I can always save the frame, use it for something else, just cut it down to size and attach these two pieces together. Now for the rail part to hang the picture, I went to the Crafter Square section and I found some jewelry making kits as well as these dowels here. In order for this picture to hang from the dowel, I needed to drill small holes on either side of the top of the frame, so that way our jewelry pieces would be able to hang and connect them together. To make it feel a little more finished, I'm just going to stain this dowel using some antiquing wax that I already had on hand. Placed two of the earring pieces on the inside as well as the back, so that way these would be the hooks that would connect to the chain, which would connect to the other hook connected to the dowel. Now to hang it up on the wall, I just used some C hooks, so that way the dowel would just sit inside of those C hooks. While I still obviously like the one from Magnolia much more, for $5 I think I get an overall similar look, but on a much tighter budget. Another really easy, inexpensive hack to make some of these little small pictures look bigger, just grab two white poster boards from the Dollar Tree for $1, and then you can just do this to a frame that you already have or a thrifted frame, so that way your artwork is going to appear that it actually is a larger piece, but your artwork from the Dollar Tree is still quite small. And you can just place that opening for your Dollar Tree photo in the middle, or one thing I've noticed designers doing a lot more is to actually make it purposefully off-center for a more kind of dynamic effect. For styling, you can of course just pop it on any wall or also lean it on any bookshelf as long as the scale is appropriate, but it truly doesn't have to break the bank. I spent less than $10 for both pieces of artwork, and I think it fills out this little corner beautifully. Another decor item that I really love, but can be a little bit pricey, are these keepsake boxes that are glass and brass. And in the Dollar Tree Plus section, I found this glass box here that is so reminiscent of something you would find at a high-end store. What I plan on using this for, some of you guys know that my dad passed away, and grief is an interesting thing. It's hard for me to see pictures of him up all the time, but I wanted to have a little area here for these slides that I can just hold them up to the light so that they are available when I'm ready to look at them. In order to make that gold color just look a little bit more expensive, I'm going to go in with some gold leaf rub and buff and just kind of distress those areas a little bit. Definitely a really great Dollar Tree find, so if you see one at your store, make sure you pick it up. Another must-have item from the Dollar Tree in 2025 is craft wood. Now, in terms of how much you could get, let's say at Lowe's or Home Depot, you're not going to be getting the best deal. However, with that being said, if you don't have a miter saw and you just need like small pieces of wood to make different kind of home decor items, that's the perfect thing for these. So it can be as simple as just picking something up that's wood from the Dollar Tree and just giving it a quick stain and then sealing it. And that automatically makes it look way more high-end. I feel like the shape of this box reminds me of something for sure Magnolia would sell, and it would definitely not be sold for $1.25. Or if you don't find something that you like as it is and just needs a stain, you can always just make something yourself. So these little thick pieces of wood here could be transformed into so many different items. One thing I really love from Magnolia is this checker printed riser. I have this checker print pattern here, but if you don't have that, I've also shared in different videos that you can just do this with or painter's tape. Now for the little legs, one thing that I like to use are some of these little chess pieces, just so you get that little kind of finial detail you'll see often in McCaffeyie & Co. decor, as well as Magnolia decor. And we're just going to attach these little pieces here to the bottom, just so it's a little bit more reminiscent to what we would see on Magnolia. Painted the pieces in this kind of aged brass look and then just added some Gorilla Glue. I'll peel that remainder off once it's completely solidified, but an overall pretty similar look for just $2.50. In the past, I've shared with you guys, if you find these little packs of really thin wood, you can just use these to make some really easy shelf decor, just stain them and then attach them to a hurricane vase that you paint brown, fill it with florals, just a different look, and it's super cost effective. Also shared how you can DIY some wood wall art inspired by something I saw at Crate & Barrel. Just cut down some old wire hangers to attach all of our wooden pieces together, and it was such a simple project, but made a big impact. You can also grab some of the more expensive wood pieces from the plus section, make some small scale piece of furniture. You can also just use it for really practical kind of storage ideas. Grabbing some of these larger wooden dowels as well as some craft wood, just combined all the pieces together, painted them white. If you are in a small space, putting as much up on your wall that can double as something beautiful is always the way to go. This is a really great deal if you're not trying to redo your entire closet, let's say. Like if you're just trying to do your coat closet, or you just need a few of these. 15 pieces for just $5 is one of the best prices I've seen. Very comparable to Amazon. Absolutely do not go to Walmart and spend $5 on 5 hangers. And if you want everything to just look really streamlined and clean, velvet hangers really are the way to go. It's such a simple and inexpensive swap that does make actually a big difference. Another material used really often in high-end design is white ceramic decor, and I think it's just because it is just a really timeless material. So you can find those same things though at the Dollar Tree. You just have to do a little bit of digging. I love these candle holders from Crate & Barrel, but they are so expensive. So I grabbed one of these little ceramic trays here, as well as one of the pleated candle holders. For the plastic tube pieces, I pick mine up at Lowe's. They're under $1 for each one, or you can buy them in bulk, or you could just use the metal pieces from the Dollar Tree, so that way you don't have to buy anything from any other store. I just attached them using some Gorilla Glue, mixing up some white paint with plaster, and then leave it to dry. So for under $5, you can have a white set of ceramic taper candle holders that look beautiful. Even from Target, your wall storage pieces are always going to be so much more expensive, and you can literally get almost identical things at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. And this area of Dollar Tree has really expanded over the last few years. I think they have a lot more options now than they ever used to, but one of my favorite pieces are these heavy-duty hooks. For only 5/4, I feel that these look like they should cost much more. I really love the fact that a lot of times when you buy hooks like this, you see the screws through them. These actually come with caps, which is a kind of higher end design. I just decided to paint mine first with brass spray paint and then go over it with just like a dusting of black spray paint, just to give it a more aged look. The next Dollar Tree must-have item for 2025 are their small decorative mirrors. When you shop at high-end stores, it is bananas when you see the price tag, especially when you know you can find really beautiful, much more simple, streamlined pieces from the Dollar Tree. One of my new favorites was this mirror here. I believe this is just meant to be like popped up on a wall, which you can totally do, but I think it would look so much better as a tray. Mirror trays that look like this from even places like Target and Home Depot will cost much more. So it's a great thing to kind of corral some small items, maybe a candle, some jewelry, perfume. Gives it a whole elevated look, but it was just $1.25. The next must-have Dollar Tree item is iridescent glass. They have so much iridescent glass on Anthropologie, but they also have it at Dollar Tree, and they have several different variations of it. It kind of just depends what you're looking for. In last week's video, I just did a quick little mini tutorial on a gift basket idea for Valentine's Day, and a lot of you really liked that idea and wanted to see more. You can also do this with Dollar Tree materials. Started off by just grabbing one of these iridescent glass candle holders. Now you can just give this with a candle, that's one option, or you can make this into a candle. So if you're like me, I hoard a bunch of half-used candles for some reason, and because I do that, I try to find opportunities like these to repurpose them. So grabbing our little iridescent glassware from Dollar Tree, place the wick from the old candle inside, then place a funnel on the top of the side, so then that way the wax doesn't spill all over, it just goes right into our now candle. If you do plan on doing this, just make sure at the bottom it will tell you if you can use it for a candle and it can tolerate hot liquids. For the add-on, because this does not have a lid, I'm just going to take some matches from the Dollar Tree, cut off a small section of that striker. We are going to then attach that to the side because it doesn't have a lid and you wouldn't be able to flip it over. Attaching our striker piece with some glass specific glue, just going to press that on there for about a minute or so until it's solidified. I always like to choose a container or basket that the recipient can use after the fact. So I found this cosmetic bag for just $1.25. In order to give the bag more stability, I'm just going to take the lid and push it to the back in order for us to layer in all of the pieces. So another thing I definitely recommend, it's worth checking. It's definitely not like something you could find 10 or 15 bucks to stock your shelves. But every now and then you'll find one or two really great coffee table books that normally retail, even on Amazon. This book retails for, I think, $19.95. I paid just $1.25 for it. This time of year is great for scarves, and I found this cozy one at the Dollar Tree. Looks like it should cost much more than $1.25. Adding in our DIY candle and DIY match striker. I always like to add a real element of greenery. So eucalyptus dries really beautifully and it still smells great when it's dried. So I just placed a few stems in here, and I think that this gift from Anthropologie would cost upwards around $150. But by shopping at Dollar Tree and just using some supplies I had, I was able to spend about $7.50 on this entire gift, and I would personally love to receive it. Another tried and true favorite that will always make my list is the hurricane vase. And I really like the scale of this one from the plus section even better. Of course, you can use the normal one that's $1.25, and it's the perfect thing. I did a whole video about the hurricane vase, so I'll link that in the description box below. But another idea is to turn these taller ones into taper candle holders. I'm just going to spray paint these plastic pieces with some brass spray paint first, and then go in again with a dusting of black. I think it just kind of calms down the brass and makes it feel a little bit more high-end. Attaching these plastic pieces with some Gorilla Glue that is designed to stick to glass. You just want to make sure whatever adhesive you're using, you can't use hot glue here, it'll peel right off. So you want to use an adhesive that is appropriate for the materials you're working with. Next, I'm just going to spray a little bit of spray paint into a cup. Make sure your windows are open, you're wearing a mask, and I'm just going to line the rim of each of these taller hurricane vases. And I think they look beautiful. You don't need to spend a fortune to have a space that you love. Another category that I really just couldn't leave off this list was any fluted items. So fluted glassware especially, you can find this in a lot of different varieties throughout different Dollar Trees. It just kind of depends what that specific Dollar Tree has in stock. These little misters are great for $1.25. These could be used as drinkware or as vases as well. You could also use one of these for the match striker. You would just put the striker on the bottom. I also love these taper candle holders, but also these fluted taper candles from Anthropologie, a lot more expensive. From Pottery Barn, a lot more expensive. So the fact that you get two of these for $1.25, which is usually all you really need, is 2 or 4 candles. You usually don't need a pack of 8. Another taper style that is expensive are any flameless candles that are battery operated or with a remote. These ones from Pottery Barn are really expensive. I found this candle here from the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's not my favorite, if I'm being totally honest. I like the ones from Amazon a little bit better. The flame on this just looks a little cheesy for me, but I was glad to see it at Dollar Tree. I hope that they come out with more different versions of this style of a candle as well as these. I think this is also a really good deal. Now the outside is plastic. I wish it was glass, but you could also just take the candle from this piece, just slide it out and put it in a glass. Another household item I think everybody could benefit from are really great uniform canisters. Canisters from Crate and Barrel are quite expensive, especially when you have to buy multiples of them. One goal I had for 2025 was just to streamline all of my cleaning supplies. So I ordered these labels on Amazon, but that was honestly the most expensive part because everything else came from the Dollar Tree. I'm using these for laundry storage, for cleaning supplies, for linen storage. There's tons and tons of things you can do with these. Just grab a label, make a label if you have a Cricut, and it can just really enhance the look of your space. In kind of that same category, I also really like the style of these bottles here. They are plastic, but the label comes off really easily, and I just plan on decanting all of the cleaning supplies that I can decant into some of these bottles as well as these clear ones. Another area definitely worth checking are fabric swatches from the Dollar Tree, and every Dollar Tree is a little bit different. I like to look for satin, velvet, leather, and I usually buy them in, they're really like just neutral colors because you could just typically do a lot more with those. Just made a really simple pillow. If you are new to sewing, a pillow is the perfect thing to start with. Just make sure you have your good sides facing together so your bad sides facing out. Just go around the perimeter. I like to do like 3 1/4 sides, fill my pillow with whatever insert, and then sew the remainder. And you can make this for just about $2.50 in under 10 minutes. Whenever I'm looking at new collections from high-end retailers, I like to look for themes. And one theme I've been seeing, especially through Magnolia and Anthropologie, are beaded pieces. These are great as a catch-all tray or some sort of a riser to put soap dispensers and things like that on, or you could just attach it to an old picture frame, add some artwork or photography to the middle, and I think you can have a really kind of trendy piece, but was just $1.25. When it comes to organization, there's a few that I want to point out. The felt organization is a better deal than you would probably spend at Anthropologie. If you only need one piece like I did, this is a really nice option. You don't have to go to Amazon and spend $10 when you only need one piece. Just grab the piece you need from the Dollar Tree. More doesn't necessarily always mean better. So yes, you do get more pieces, but if you don't have an intention for those pieces, it's actually just going to create more clutter and more mess in your space. Another style or type of organization I like from Dollar Tree are all of the acrylic organizers from that Home Essentials line especially. Those are really great and really great value for what you're getting. Even when you compare it to Walmart or Target or God forbid the Container Store, this is a really great. I use these in my refrigerator, I use them in my desk, I use these all over my house, my bathroom, but just make sure before you buy them, you know exactly what you're going to do with them. Another item from the Dollar Tree that is a must-have for me is bowl filler. You can buy bowl filler at Crate and Barrel for about 10 times the price, and you're honestly getting the exact same thing. I have done so many projects using these river stones. I've turned them into large-scale artwork using a poster board and a hula hoop. I've also used them in projects like this rather than using faux dirt on top of a faux potted plant like this one from Pottery Barn. I just took an old bowl, I just stressed it and painted it to look more similar to the one from Pottery Barn, and I used those stones to kind of top around the styrofoam in order to give a more similar look. Another filler I like that's more specific to summer is seashells, and I think you can get really close and get that Pottery Barn look for a fraction of the cost. I made this really interesting seashell vase that was just a few dollars. I've also made wall decor using them, just glued these down and then went over with some caulking and white acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree. Another combination you could try for a tray or just wrap around a vase like I'm showing here is take some spackle from the Dollar Tree and just press these little white stones that you can find right by the black stones usually, and DIY your own textured vase. You can even spackle over this and wipe away. Lots of different options, but just some ideas to get you started. There are two types of dispensers that I would look out for. I like this one here that is usually intended for olive oil and vinegar. You can create a whole pantry of these for such an affordable price point. Something similar at Williams-Sonoma will cost a small fortune. I also really like this version here. I use this for mouthwash. I also use this for water by my bedside. I think it just gives a more elevated look than a big Stanley cup or a water bottle. This just gives a sophistication to your space, but on a budget. Next up are the white and black grid baskets. For $1.25, you get a fairly good supportive basket that is the ideal size for storage. Another thing that I found were these labels. Right by these baskets, I found these basket labels that are perfect. I actually bought a whole pack of these from Amazon and they were so much more expensive. You can write the labels out on the paper they provide for you, or because I already had ordered that whole stack of labels from Amazon, I'm just going to use those instead. And again, I'm just trying to streamline my cleaning supplies and my overflow to just be a little bit more organized in 2025. I will say these baskets are really great for lighter items. So like toilet paper and napkins, these store really well with things that are a little bit heavier. One thing I personally like to do, if I know that the items that are going to be going in one of these are a bit heavier, I'll take one poster board, I'll cut it down 4 different times, and I'll just trace around, place the poster board on the very bottom, and then just place what comes with it, usually just on top of the poster board. Usually makes for a much sturdier effect so the bottom doesn't kind of just sink down. So like for things like wipes or heavier cleaning supplies, that is a really great hack I have found in order to give these just a little bit more structure. I also like to use these to disguise things that I just simply can't decant. And when I clean my bathroom, I just like to take this little caddy with me. So it all goes with me and it all goes back right in this basket. There's just some things you can't decant, like the OxiClean spray or the Zep cleaner. Those have specific nozzles that you can't decant those. They need to stay in their containers, but they're visually busy. So I just like to put everything in this caddy here, lined the bottom because this is a little bit heavier than what this basket can normally tolerate. All stays in here, it's contained, it looks aesthetically pleasing. I take what I need when I need to go clean the bathroom and it goes right back in. Last but not least, I know it's so early and it's freezing outside, but we have to talk about the planters that Dollar Tree has been releasing so far. Much better than years prior. I would recommend buying them now just in case, because I think if you wait until spring, these will definitely be gone. I ended up scooping up several of these. You can use these for organization if you don't end up using them during gardening season, but I think for $1.25, this is a really great product for its price point. With all that being said, that really does wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which hack or find or project was your favorite this week. If nothing else, I hope that this video gave you guys a fresh perspective on what you can find from the Dollar Tree and exactly how you can use it. With all that being said, I hope you're all having an amazing week and I will see you back here next Sunday. Bye for now.